Drunken pop, we're diving deep. The memories we swore to keep. Unfiltered tales that'll make you leap. Into your past we boldly leap. Timmy speaks of games and dreams, old cartoons and backyard schemes. Nostalgia hit like a mighty wave. In this show, we misbehave. Double days with pockets full, bringing tales that always pull. Step heads, cackles with a glance, unleashing legends from our trance.
Pow!
I think you jumped the gun there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Drunken Pop. I'm your host, TJ Stevens.
Step in.
Join me as always.
Dollar Bill Dave?
He gone. He gone.
He's on an island somewhere once again. Of course.
I don't know if we can make those jokes anymore.
What? That he's on an island?
Yeah. Because everyone assumes, you know, which island. He's in
Fantasy Island? I don't know. He's on vacation.
Fantasy Island.
Islands in the stream?
See, that works. That's a deep cut for this show. Timmy C, he's here.
Who? TJ, get your car fixed.
No.
I mean, let's leave the show off hot.
Yeah, so my starter on my truck went out on Monday. I mean, technically it was last weekend. It was last Saturday. Because ironically, I was trying to go to the gym and it wouldn't start. So I had to order parts, dickhead, and they came in Thursday. So all day today, probably since 2 o'clock Eastern time, I've been trying to put this in. And it's back in now. It's mounted and everything. And by the way, if you work in the automotive engineering field, fuck you. Right in the mouth. I mean, like the wire studs are so in not a great spot and small. Not to mention I'm working in a space this big.
All right, so I know Dollar Bill Dave's not here, but I'm going to take the unpopular stance. Fucking pay someone to fix it.
Well,
why are you fixing it?
Well, again, my dad's a retired mechanic, and he's not here right now. He's in Missouri. But
my dad's a truck driver. Guess what? He died in 2014, so I don't expect to be parking any semis anytime soon.
Well, I would also have to have it towed because it doesn't start. It's okay. It's in my driveway.
$40. Do you need a loan? I can Venmo it to you.
I mean, that would be great if you could just start paying me for petty purchases in my life.
I'll be like Ice-T, the car warranty guy.
But everything's done. But like if I try to wire it first, the wires are ran in a way I can't mount it because the wires become twisted amongst themselves. And then if you mount it first, you can get
the wire. On a lift?
Huh? No, I'm laying on my back in the driveway.
Yeah, that's stupid. Pay someone to do that shit.
And in the middle of me doing it, it started snowing. I mean, we'll throw that in too.
It's snowing.
Yeah.
It's almost 80 here. I'm getting in the hot tub after this.
Yeah, it's snowing right now. And then like I actually looked behind me at one point and I thought there was I was like, is something on fire? Oh, that's snow. I thought it was ash coming from
something on fire. No, that's snow.
And then
that sounds terrible. You should move.
And then and so I've got everything remounted. The wires are on, the nuts for the wires are started, but now I need to go get ratcheting wrenches so I can finish tightening these nuts down.
Ratcheting wrenches.
Yes.
What? Call the Snap-on guy. Have him bring the truck around so you can overpay for that shit too. It would have been cheaper to send it to a mechanic.
I mean, right. Well, I see. I have replaced my ignition switch and my starter relay, so I'm doing the whole gamut. And I would say with parts and everything, I've probably saved $500 to $600 so far.
And wasted all afternoon.
But what else was I supposed to do today?
This with me an hour ago.
I'm here.
Darren, no, I have AA, not AAA.
Is AAA still a thing?
Yeah. Sarah's got it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Apparently it's like a lifetime. They just keep taking money too.
And I
even,
want
even if you don't need it. And
I want to make this clear. I am not like the issue with the starter is not that I'm just completely mechanically inclined and I don't know how to. I figured it out relatively quickly how to do this.
You can YouTube anything.
It's just a pain in the ass to get it back in.
That's why mechanics get paid what they do.
Taking it out.
It would have been much easier to throw it up on a lift. They'd have had it done in an hour.
Oh, if I would have had this on a lift, I'd have been done 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's why
I would have had enough room for a socket and all that. Like, it would have been great.
You had your own ratcheting wrenches. My
dad does have ratcheting wrenches, and he has a lift too. Fucker.
You should go to your dad's house, apparently.
Well,
Dad, back up your lift and your wrenches. Bring them over to the house.
His good friend just had surgery down in Missouri, so he's there watching him. So I don't have access to his garage. So
Darren Staley, not AA. I mean AA. Sorry.
Yeah, he meant the other.
But I had a buddy that used to work for AAA. He was one of their road techs. TJ's met him. You met Ryan.
I have.
Their whole shtick is to sell you a battery. Like, they might as well not be called AAA. It should be called, we want to sell you a new battery. Because that's about all they're going to do.
Are they behind the company Batteries Plus?
I don't know.
They probably
maybe
are.
Interstate batteries, because they go to the interstate.
Mm.
What's up, Matthew Elvis Presley? Oh, you were saying hi to Darren. Nobody gives a shit that we're here talking about.
Yeah, that's just Darren and Matthew in the comments.
Maybe we should leave.
So you wanted to talk about NFL free agency today.
Actually, there's something new that come up that I would really like to talk about. I'm really proud. So there was a movie in 1991 called Career Opportunities. It was kind of the coming out party for Jennifer. What's her name? Jennifer.
Love Hewitt?
Nope.
Lawrence?
Nope.
Jennifer Tilly?
Hold on.
Jennifer. This is great. Great segment. Crushed it.
Well, if you were ever on, all right, Jennifer Connelly, that's who it was.
Okay.
And there is a scene in this movie where, because the whole premise of the movie is like this loser works at Target and gets locked in, and the girl is really rich and was trying to shoplift. But that's neither here nor there. Two guys break in and they're going to rob the whole store, and they start holding them hostage. It's a comedy, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Like Airheads.
So the video that you guys may have seen and not know where it's from. Have you seen lately any actresses sitting on like a toy horse going back and forth, and then it's like two guys from the same movie looking at her? Terrible. Anyway, it's from that movie. Like, I've seen one that was I saw one from Kingpin, and it was Woody Harrelson and the other guy sitting there, and some old lady was up on the horse riding it.
One of the Quaids. I think it's Dennis.
Yeah. No, it's Randy. It's most definitely Randy.
Well, there you go.
But so the scene is originally from Career Opportunities, and I don't give a shit who you put on top of that horse. It's still never going to compete with Jennifer Connelly in 1991. I don't care. She's all the way live in that movie. I don't care that she has a little mustache you can kind of see. She hot as hell. I'm telling you.
What?
Hold on. I want to pull it up on my phone.
I'm looking at it on my phone right now.
Okay, are you finding any spoofs of it? Because they've used AI to spoof it.
No,
I think I saw a Back to the Future one with Leah Thompson, and then the two guys are Michael J. Fox and Crispin Glover.
No, this is the one. I did see that one too that you're talking about. That I'm watching the scene.
None of them are going to compete with her on that one.
I don't see a mustache.
It was very faint, but yeah, you could tell she's definitely
I definitely
She-
recognize one of the dudes, but I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
By the way, the movie's hilarious. One of my favorite movies as a kid. Yes, Darren Staley with a budget of $7. This movie had a hobby horse, and I'm pretty sure Target paid them to be in it. So
was this the thing you just had to discuss right now?
yeah, I don't care how many times you spoof it with AI, and I don't care who you put on that horse. It's not going to equal the original.
Okay.
Okay, free agency.
Any other weird references you want to bring up?
I think I'm good right now.
Before we move on.
Well, I have a second one. I was at the gym this morning, had my earphones in, and I had to stop. I had Apple Music playing, and I thought of Darren Staley because Smoky Mountain Rain came on, and I just let it play. I didn't even skip it. I was just like, yeah, I'm in.
So we've also you'll love this story, Timmy. This story has everything, and I guarantee every sentence of this story you're not going to know the next one I'm going to say. So, my friend Josh at work, he's like,
is he the young one?
No, he's a couple years younger than I am. He's like 5'6", but he's like probably 180 pounds. He's pretty big dude. He lifts a lot. He goes to Planet Fitness in South Bend.
Okay, so he's not round. He's
muscular.
Okay,
yeah. And apparently there is, I don't know what the proper phrase, a transient, a homeless person. I don't know what. They live in a van in the parking lot. But during the day, when the workers of Planet Fitness are there, they're not. They're gone. They come back at night when the gym is open, but no one's there. And apparently
they come inside.
I don't know. Like I haven't heard that. I mean, Josh has definitely said people have had to waffle stomp poops in the showers before.
Darren, fuck your new world
is the new word. I think he said.
Either way.
Unhoused is kind of funny though. So
they're still homeless, and actually they're not even homeless because they live in a van.
They live in a van, and there's no river though. But apparently, this person has some sort of a bucket apparatus in the van with a bag in it, and then when they shit, they tie the bag and then they throw it up on the roof. And there's like, I don't know why. That's a lot.
I cannot wait till I hear the story of the roof collapsing at a Planet Fitness where everyone's covered in shit.
It's a lot of effort just to get rid of poop, especially when there's all the other options you have available to you. And
this is like a former employee that is disgruntled.
I can only hope. And it's gotten so bad. Josh has sent me a picture when he's walking into the gym, just like over the letter L, you can start to see bag handles, just like waving in the wind. And he sent me a picture the other day. Because yesterday the wind gusts were like 55 miles an hour. It was crazy.
They didn't get one up there.
No, one blew off the roof, and it was just laying in the parking lot. And yeah, so there's just a homeless person in a Planet Fitness just hucking poop on the roof, and now they're starting to blow up with the wind. It's just, I love the gym.
Well, you're right. I didn't expect that to be the last sentence. I love the gym.
At my gym, at my what gym do I go to? Planet Fitness? No, Anytime Fitness. There's no homeless poop throwers in the parking lot, so that's kind of sad. But
well, I go to Planet Fitness and there's no homeless poop throwers. Although there are homeless people that. All right, so why do I hate the unhoused? I don't hate the unhoused. I hate the term unhoused. Because they're just fucking homeless. Why do we have to have new names for everything? Why do we have... There's nothing racist about homeless.
I don't think it's necessarily racist. There's nothing derogatory about the word homeless.
No.
It's a fact.
Homeless.
It's a fact.
What I hate more than homeless people are people that pretend to be homeless and like sit out and get money all day and then go hop in their Beamer and go back to their house.
Oh, there was a group of people in here where I live in LaPorte that got busted for that.
That shit was famous in Cincinnati. You would see people that would just sit out there and all day and then just go hop in their Jeep Cherokee Grand Laredo bullshit and go home.
Grand Laredo. He did say, I don't agree with the new word. I was just trying to be informative. I love Darren.
Nobody agrees with that new word. That's stupid. Unhoused. Because Homeless is derogatory. Witless. How about that? But we have I live in a small city, not small town, probably bigger than a town. It's, about 25 to 35,000 people, depending on if school's in or whatnot.
That's what mine is.
That's and we have started having some of this issue, and we have a couple. One of the couple used to work for me at my old location, and he was terrible. Like, didn't come to work, didn't want to work. When he was at work, was shitty. So I fired him, of course. But now he and his girlfriend sit on the corner in front of Planet Fitness and beg for money. And also post on the local Facebook chat things. Oh, we're in need of money. We're going to lose our house. No one bothers to ever say, hey, get a fucking job. Because he's like not even 30 yet. So able-bodied person. They got a dog now.
They've acquired a dog?
They did acquire a dog. And then during the summer, they would sit in Planet Fitness because I guess Planet Fitness allowed them to loiter, and they would bring the dog water and stuff. Still homeless. They now have a puppy in addition to the full-grown dog they have. So they're homeless, but not petless. They got 2 pets. They got more pets than I got.
I've had this thought because LaPorte, not so much. Michigan City is the next town west of here, and it's probably double the population, maybe a little bit bigger. And like when I go to Lowe's, there's a homeless guy sitting outside. Now, granted, to his defense, he's always there. He doesn't move. But like I just had this thought one day, like I would, if I was in that situation where I'm either homeless or about to be, and I'm at the point where I have to beg on the corner.
Shut up, Darren's day.
He's on one today. I'm not even saying this to be derogatory. I think after a while I would just get too bored, and I'm just gonna go find a job because this is stupid.
Right? Like
I have video games to play.
I will say this. So, where I used to work. Worked at McDonald's.
Yep.
Don't have to be a rocket surgeon to get a job there. So there is a homeless person that begs on like a corner 2 blocks down. Got an application, applied. He came in and I'm like, oh man, I really hope, this guy's trying to get a leg up. He doesn't want to be there anymore. And then I interviewed him and I was like, now I know why you're fucking homeless, because you're fucking stupid.
My favorite interview I did when I worked at Burger King years ago. This was at a store in Stevensville, Michigan. Interviewed this young woman. Went great. I think she was just out of high school. Her first day, she showed up to work with green hair.
That's everywhere now.
Well, this was 2014, so it was starting to creep in, but it wasn't prevalent yet.
Yeah.
But Timmy, as you know, as an interviewer, especially back in those days, one of the kind of requisites for working the front counter, which is what she was doing, is you had to have naturally colored hair. Not that it had to be your natural hair color.
It's changed now.
Yeah. It had to
be
be
COVID cut a lot of that out.
Well, yeah, for obvious reasons. But I mean, it had to be a natural hair color. Not necessarily yours, but just one. So she walks in with green hair, and I'm surprised because it's been like 4 days since I interviewed her, and I'm like,
she got a job. She can buy some hair color.
Well, she hadn't even worked a day yet. She hadn't gotten paid.
Doesn't matter. She got a loan, payday loan.
I just looked,
get a paycheck in 2 weeks.
I just looked at her and I said, "Is green your natural hair color?" And she goes, "No." I go, "Then I don't understand what we're doing right now, because it was very well made known in the interview that you're supposed to have naturally colored hair, and green's not. So here's what's going to happen."
Except for the Joker's natural colored hair.
And I said, so actually his wasn't even green. It was brown.
I mean, it's close enough.
And I said, so here's what's going to happen next. I said, you're going to go home and you're going to fix that. and then we'll try again tomorrow.
Doubt it.
And yeah, that was the last time we saw her.
I knew that. I've been down that road. TJ is a Harris, guaranteed.
I don't even know what that means.
They run houses because they were intellectually challenged. That is correct.
There's too many big words in the chat. I don't like it.
Matthew Elvis Presley and I are on the same feed.
Most of the big words are real. Not all of them are.
But I'm telling you, that I sat down with that guy. I wanted to give that guy a job so bad. And it was like, how would I put it? If Cousin Eddie had a baby with Eminem, that's about how it would have turned out.
That's a lot just now.
That was a lot. It was a lot. I was like, oh.
But see, when you're hiring and you're in that mindset, because again, back in the day, I was in that role, is you see someone like that, and there is party that feels bad because you're like, well, maybe he's this way because he can't. A, doesn't have insurance. B, can't pay for his medication. Maybe he's taking medication and they can't afford it. And that's why he's like this. And you're like, do I hire him and maybe hope it gets fixed because now he can get medicine, or is this just how he is? And it's an interesting tightrope that usually you fall on the side of like, no, we're good. We'll go elsewhere. But
yeah,
you do feel
I am a gatekeeper. In fact, actually, I'm not anymore. Like, if I'm doing an interview now, they better have some intelligence because I'm only interviewing at like GM and above level, which, by the way, does not mean I'm immune to catching a stray every now and then.
Yeah. So my specific purpose when I was brought into the Burger King management structure in like, again, 2014, whatever it was.
Actually, they'd probably bring you back now to be like CEO. They're terrible.
Probably. They would send me to stores in the area that had money problems. And
you were like a banker?
No, we're losing money and I don't know why, kind of thing. Like, we shouldn't be, but by losing money, I'm saying we're doing this much in sales, but that is not what our banks reflect. So I'm trying to find theft is what I'm going in there to find. And
well, Billy Bob's walking out the door with a case of meat.
Yeah. It was actually a really cool system. Like, they would hire me into the store like normal to be the assistant manager, whatever. But what they really don't know is like, I'm there to catch them.
You're like undercover boss. That's awesome.
And
as the undercover boss,
maybe you do or don't know this. I don't know. But when you go to a store and you're looking for theft, it doesn't take you long to figure out where it's coming from. I had both store managers in both cases I did were store managers. One, actually, no, both of them were they were leaving IOUs in the safe.
Had that happen? Well, not my store, but a store I know about had, I believe the safe was minus the drawers, I think $750, and there were like $480 in IOUs in it when the new GM took over.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
What are we doing? and then I get to listen to them explain to me why they did that and why they think it's okay. And every time you're just like, I'm gonna let this lady say her piece, and then she's fired immediately after that. Well, this is hilarious.
Before you say anything, was that safe your money? No. Okay, no. You're fired. Get out. You waste too much time. This is like you fixing the starter.
Oh no, see, in my union leadership role now, when I sit down in meetings with a company, I will intentionally lead them into the corner and let them say dumb shit just so I can that whole like mental waiting game is my favorite shit ever.
No, I hate that.
I love it.
Get to the sex. I don't like foreplay.
When you finally get to pull the curtain back, like, gotcha, bitch. Like, it is my favorite shit. I love it.
Anyway, NFL free agency.
Yes.
So I've got a list of yes, TJ is a union organizer.
No, I'm a griever, Darren, if you're asking. I'm on the grievance
committee. So I pulled up the top 100 free agents. Would you like to cover our teams first? Because I know you're a big Bears fan. I've not seen anything the Bears have done in free agency.
It's because they haven't done much. But I do have I just looked at the big free agent signings for the year. I didn't necessarily go by teams. I
By
mean,
the
you
way,
guys
Matthew Elvis Presley, I'm an Ohio State fan, so Michigan can take it straight up the ass.
with 4.4 seconds left. I know your Bengals have been busy. I don't think my Bears have been very busy.
They got real busy the first day and then like took a 3-day nap. We're just like, we're tired.
The Bears, I mean, the only things I'm aware of is Drew Domlin kind of surprised they want to retire at 27.
Yeah, that was weird.
Anymore it's not.
Last year he signed a brand new extension.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised when that happens anymore. Luckily he retired, so the Bears are not on the hook, or at the very least he won't be dead cap for the next 3 years.
Yeah, he was like 14 million a year. That's a lot.
14, 17, somewhere there, yeah. So and we traded DJ Moore to the Bills for a 5th round pick, I think it was.
Actually, don't dislike that move.
I don't either, because we weren't using him. Now, DJ Moore, every time we needed him to step up, he did. We just didn't use him. I don't know why Caleb Williams didn't seem to like going to him. But again, every time he needed him, he came through. And the Bills need a receiver.
I think it's one of those change of scenery type things.
Yeah, I agree. So I wasn't upset with that one. I am a DJ Moore guy, but I didn't hate it. It'd be good for both teams.
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the big purple elephant. Max Crosby gets traded.
Wow.
And then to steal a word from you, TJ, the shitbird Ravens renege on their trade. Because that's what happened. Don't be fooled by anything. They found out they could get Trey Hendrickson, which we'll get back to that. They found out they could get Trey Hendrickson and not give up 2 first-round picks. And they're like, nah, he's got a faulty knee that we knew about back in January.
Exactly.
And we knew it'd be about where it was at this point, but we're going to fail his physical. They should lose those 2 draft picks.
So
they should just be shot into oblivion.
You kind of buried the lead there, and I don't think we've heard the end of this Ravens Max Crosby debacle. Because everyone knew Max Crosby missed the end of the season due to knee issues.
There were 14 different thousand stories that were put out in January about his knee. He's ahead of schedule.
Yes. So it's not like
because he opted not to get the meniscus trimmed.
Yeah, he got
it repaired, which is a longer rehab, but he would have been just fine for OTAs.
Yeah, a very, very much higher level of success also with that surgery. But again, we've known about him since the fall, because again, he missed the end of the year with it. And yeah, I mean, again, you buried the lead. They trade the Raiders trade him to Baltimore for a bevy of draft picks,
2 first-rounders,
and there was 5 overall. I don't remember.
No, it was just the 2 first-rounders. Yep.
Okay, and then
that's a lot.
It's still that's a ton. And actually, one of those 2 first-round picks was from the Bears, so the Bears would have gotten a compensatory pick out of it, but they effed us. They fucked us too. I don't know why I'm censoring myself for. And so the Ravens find out, they flag him for his physical. They ship him back to the Raiders because they don't want to be a part of this trade anymore. They don't want Crosby because he's quote unquote damaged goods. 2 days later, they signed Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah. Who, by the way, damaged goods.
Yeah. Who's made of Pringles.
All right, so let's get to Trey Hendrickson. By the way, he's an asshole. Created havoc in Cincinnati the last year and a half. The Bengals gave him a very large raise last year because they wouldn't give him an extension, but he was under contract for an extension he signed 2 years earlier.
Right.
But because he had a 17.5 sack season, he felt he needed a long-term extension. They weren't going to give it to him. He is going to be 31 going into this year. So they gave him a raise from 20 million to 35 million last year. He played 5 games. got a sports hernia, tried to play again, and then shut it down for the season. Could he have came back the last 4 or 5 weeks? It's debatable. He could have. But he made a circus. And now he is playing in Baltimore. And he went to Baltimore and said all he wants to do is win a Super Bowl.
Good luck.
And maybe get paid that $112 million. They signed him for a 4-year contract. He's 31, y'all. I don't know if you know this, but about 31, 32 years old, pass rushers tend to fall off.
Unless you're Reggie White. So here's what's fun. The Ravens didn't even make the playoffs last year.
No.
So I don't know why you went there.
14.
I don't know why you went there to win
but now their plan was to sign Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby. So apparently their plan was to put 50% of their payroll into 2 players.
I mean, that would have been formidable, but yes, the rest of their team would have been atrocious. The first
time would have done shit.
The first time I remember this happening where somebody goes a year or two, well, let's put it this way, has 2 years plus left on their existing contract they want to renegotiate. The first time I remember this happening was essentially the entire Legion of Boom secondary back in the day. That was the first time I remember hearing about it. And now you hear about it all the time. Again, Trey Hendrickson, the NFL and the NFL player, NBA too, sports in general, right? The audacity to be as injury prone as you are, which by the way is no fault of your own. It's just the way it is.
Well, it's what happens when people get older.
Yeah, but you're injury prone. You demand more money in the middle of your contract. And then you leave. Like I can't stand that shit. I hate it to no end. I can call me a purist or an old head or wherever you want. I can't stand it. What's interesting going to be, again, I don't think we've heard the end of the story. I think I've heard of it's possible the Ravens will lose one of those draft picks. I don't know.
The NFL's not going to do it because what they did technically was legal, but I would look for in the future organizations are not going to want to deal with them.
I've heard that too. The NFL teams as a whole are no longer willing to do it to Baltimore. Not only did they do it here with Crosby, they've done it 2 or 3 times in the last decade, which this is just the first time it just blew up and became giant news because it was Max Crosby. Again, they didn't make the playoffs last year. They were okay. I mean, they started off terrible and they came back, but they were an average team at best. Hendrickson doesn't push them over the edge. Their whole defense was not great. Like they've
lost like 6 Pro Bowlers this year.
Yeah, they got a lot better in the second half of the year.
So
but
let's take that to the number 2 free agent,
okay.
Tyler Linderbaum, center from the Ravens, that is now an ungodly paid center for the Raiders. So
that's ironic, isn't it?
Right, but that was after the Max Crosby thing went down.
That's what I'm saying.
Geez, Linderbaum as a center is making like $18 million a year, like some ridiculous amount as a center.
So the again, we just talked about Drew Dahlman of the Bears was in the same category, 14, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood. He was getting paid. And again, he was 27 years old last year or this year when he retired. I think coaches are starting to realize, the biggest hang up for any team back in the day, the most sought after offensive lineman was a left tackle, unless your quarterback was left-handed, then it was a right tackle by far. And I think just over time, people have come to realize like, oh, if I've got a really good center who can diagnose defense,
point everything out.
Yes. And then have two good guards next to him that just essentially negate.
You just push everything out.
Exactly.
So you get that extra half second you need.
You negate the interior pressure if you have 2 good guards. And then you have a tackle with the help of a tight end and running back doing a chip that can do one-on-one and block these pass rushers. That's really the way to go. So these centers are now, I think I think this is the going rate for centers moving forward.
Linderbaum is excellent, by the way, and
Yes,
he
he
is
is.
only going to be 26 this season. So he
By
is
the way,
still
here's how
very
dumb
young.
here's how dumb the Ravens were. They had a center named Matt Burke for how long, and he just retired. This guy was his replacement. They could have had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers of centers, and they let him go.
Yeah.
Probably so they could sign Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson.
Well, so they could sign Trey Hendrickson. By the way, as a Bengals fan, I am much happier to see Trey Hendrickson twice a year than I would have been to see Max Crosby twice a year.
Oh, the Bears played the Raiders last year, and Crosby almost beat us by himself.
Crosby is
He's an animal.
I wish we had made the deal for him. Don't get
That
me
dude's
wrong.
an animal.
Like I would have loved it, but I'm just glad he is actually not going to be a Raven. And then when they signed, I have long weird fingers. When they signed Trey Hendrickson, that was like the cherry on top of the sundae, because that was, yes, absolutely, sign that old ass man.
He had like 4 against the Bears. He had like 3 or 4 sacks. He had 3 or 4 tackles for a loss. He batted an interception to himself. And then there was one play. No, he had a recovered fumble. Then he batted an interception to himself. And the only reason why he didn't score a touchdown is because he tripped. Like, he literally almost beat us by himself. We won by like 4.
So confusing here. I'm sorry, Dave's not here. Mike Evans leaving the 49ers leaving the Buccaneers to sign with the 49ers on a 3-year deal. I'm sorry, 3 years?
Probably going to be his last contract, if I had to guess.
He's going to retire before this contract finishes.
Well, I would say this would be his last deal other than the one.
Mike Evans is 33 years old.
Yeah. This would be his,
in wide receiver years, that's like
44.
84.
Yeah, this will probably be his last deal until he signs his one-dayer to retire. This move with the 49ers don't really have any holes. They're just always injured.
If the 49ers stayed healthy with that coach, they'd win a Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, they're dangerous. I wouldn't have picked a wide receiver for the 49ers to be their weak spot, and one I think they need to address free agency with. But at the same token, like, who is their number one guy right now? That's not Kittle.
Yeah, well, Ayuk's gone now, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
where
Mike
did
Evans.
Sign?
I'm not entirely sure. Well, I'll look it up while you give you a rebuttal to this. So he does fill a need for the 49ers. He'll be a great number one.
I'm all on board with him going to the 49ers. I think the 3 years is absolutely ludicrous. No wide receiver lasts till 36 years old. I'm sure it's a 2-year deal, and the third year is just kind of smoke, because there's no, like, you may get 1 year out of him. Unfortunately, if he's a 49er, he may not last because they tend to get injured. I don't know how that happens, but
apparently Ayuk there's been some weird situation between Ayuk and the Commanders. I don't know what's going on there, but again, I didn't get this.
Where Deebo Samuel is too.
Yes, yeah.
What the hell?
I didn't understand this deal at all to begin with. Not to say that Mike Evans isn't a great fit on any team. That would be crazy to suggest otherwise. But I just didn't understand why the 49ers were doing this. So it's going to be Evans and Juwan Jennings, that's
pretty good.
Sign me up. And then
you got C-Mac and
Kittle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good combination. Darren Staley asked, how many touchdowns per year do they need from him? If it's 10, he gets that easy. I mean, if Mike Evans at 33 years old, now granted, we're not saying he's washed. He's still very talented, can move for being that age and that big.
But he's not what he was.
No, of course not. If he could give me 70, 800, and 8 or 9 touchdowns a year,
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
That would be what I'd expect from him. And they didn't break the bank on him, but that's about what I'd expect from him.
Yeah, I'm again, the more I look at this, the more sense it makes to me that the 49ers signed Mike Evans.
Let's enter the Kirk Cousins level of free agency that doesn't actually involve Kirk Cousins. Get to that later this season. Malik Willis signs with the 49ers after they cut Tua and take a dead cap hit of close to $50 million.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. This whole thing, man.
How far do you want to get away from a quarterback? Do you cut him with a dead cap hit of $50 million?
Here's the crazy part.
Malik Willis, which, by the way, had a good 4-game run last year, but before that, he was shit in Tennessee.
So this whole situation is bizarre. I have to think, and I actually went through the quarterback class of this draft this year. I have got to think Miami at number 11 is going to, or number 9 and 11, one of the two, is going to draft a quarterback, and then Malik Willis will start, and you'll probably see him week 9, would be my guess.
I'm trying to see how long his contract was. I think they signed him for a decent contract.
Here's the crazy part too. Again, Timmy, I think we've been watching football for so long. We see a backup quarterback get 4 years, $22 million a year. You're like, what the hell?
They gave him 3 years.
Well, whichever. That is normal going rate for a backup quarterback right now, which is one that's worth a shit, I should say. This Malik Willis signing is nothing more than a Band-Aid for Miami, who again cut Tua.
$55 million a year.
Yeah.
They cut him. By the way, signed in Atlanta for a veteran minimum contract.
I was just going to say, before the ink dried on them cutting him, signs with Atlanta for nothing. And here's the great thing for Atlanta. He doesn't need money because he's still getting money from Miami.
Yeah.
So I can pay him in peanuts and nobody cares. And now they have 2 left-handed quarterbacks who can't stay healthy, and Tua and Penix. I don't know what the NFL ownership is doing this year between Baltimore, Atlanta, and Miami, but this is sign me up. This is tremendous.
And then you have Kyler Murray, who also signed a minimum deal because he got cut by the Cardinals.
I'm going to be one of the few people that probably think this way. I think Kyler going to Minnesota is going to be great for Kyler Murray.
TJ, I think as a Bears fan, you should probably be shaking in your boots.
I mean, I don't know if I go that far because the Vikings defense is not what it was a few years ago.
The Vikings defense last year was awesome.
But it's still not I've watched Minnesota so many times now, even when they had Kirk Cousins. And now I know Justin Jefferson wants out. So it's
he's not getting out.
Well, no, they're going to hold him hostage.
You can stomp your feet all you want. Doesn't mean you're leaving. By the way, Darren, the Steelers are going to be going with Aaron Rodgers again.
That's embarrassing.
That's where that's ending up.
That is embarrassing.
Yeah, well, it happens.
I hope for the sake of NFL and NFL fans everywhere that Aaron Rodgers is the end of the 43-year-old veteran quarterback experiment. Because unless your name has been Tom Brady or George Blanda, it's been a failure.
What are you talking about? I'm upset. Today, the Bengals signed Josh Johnson as their backup quarterback because I wanted Joe Flacco back.
Well,
by the way, if Flacco doesn't catch on anywhere, mark my words, if Burrow gets hurt, Josh Johnson will finish that game and they will sign Joe Flacco on Tuesday.
Here's the difference between Flacco and Rodgers. His entire career,
not a complete dick.
Well, there's that. There is that. Rodgers is just a flamboyant asshole, which I remember it was his last 3 years in Green Bay when he started talking more, and everyone pretty much unanimous was like, you should stop that. And then he
Yeah,
did.
you should not do. And then the whole COVID thing.
COVID, and then
what was the?
I'm
he wasn't
inoculated.
vaccinated. What did he say?
I'm inoculated.
No, he didn't even say it. Wasn't even that. It was like, I'm not allowed to get it.
And then he was nothing, is what it was, in the sensory deprivation chamber, which he was supposed to be in for a week, and he lasted like 48 hours. Ayahuasca. Like, this dude is such a tool. And again, unless you've been Tom Brady or George Blanda, this has never worked. I would say since Rodgers is always dependent on his feet. The movement in the pocket to get the passes is what Rodgers' strength is. He can't do that anymore. So, like, he still has a decent arm. He's still accurate. He's still going to make good decisions. But when you can play Rodgers and eliminate both the run outside the pocket and the deep ball threat, you can play him in the middle and kind of try to tinker with his accuracy. And Pittsburgh is regarded as one of the smartest franchises in the NFL. They always make the good decision, and they're going to bring Rodgers back. Well, one, they brought him back. They brought him there to begin with. We'll say that. And I want to see. I want to see how this team does, because I know Steelers fans up here in Northern Indiana. There's an ungodly number of Steelers fans because there's so many steel mills around here, and I've heard a handful who could not wait for Mike Tomlin to leave because of reasons. He lost the locker room was the one I like. I think there's a different reasons why so many Steelers fans up here in Northern Indiana wanted Mike Tomlin gone, but I won't get into that. I can't wait to see whatever boner they sign as head coach. I hope they go 4-13 next year.
They've already hired their coach.
Well, I don't know who it is. That's my point.
Well, I don't either.
But I hope they go 4-13.
Good chance if they bring Rodgers back, because they did get Michael Pittman Jr. from the Colts.
Yeah,
I do like that. I do like that. What else they got?
To not have a losing.
They got Rico Dowdle.
They did. I like that move too.
They got your safety, Jaquan Brisker.
That one upsets me a great deal. Brisker was very popular here in Chicago. But to have a coach who was your third head coach in franchise history, you've had Knox, and then you've had Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin. That is the list. That is the Steelers franchise history. And to not have a losing season in 22 years, and the fan base to demand that he leaves, is the most arrogant bullshit I've ever heard. Do you know how much money do you think the Arizona Cardinals would pay right now to not have a losing season for 22 years?
By the way, I figured out who the Steelers coach was. It's Mike McCarthy.
Oh, gross. Oh, no. Oh, they're at least going 5-12. For sure.
He might bring them up to 6-11. Who knows?
Ugh. I'm done with my rant. That flabbergasted me. I was stunned to hear that.
So the Bears haven't done a whole lot.
No, the Bears have a defense that needs to be addressed. The biggest reason for the DJ Moore trade, other than we didn't use him, was he was the highest paid player on the team. He was making $25.1 million a year, I believe it was. Dahlman was 4th or 5th on that list, and he retired. So right there, you've already got $40 million in cap space to play with. And the Bears cap before the season ended was atrocious. They really had no room. And then, so right now the highest paid player on the Bears is Jonah Jackson, the guard. Go to my point earlier. So now they have some room. They definitely need to adjust. They need to address their defense. Especially now that we got rid of Byard and Brisker, both of our safeties.
Yeah.
Which I saw us getting rid of one. I didn't see us getting rid of both. We got a couple safeties that'll step in. They'll be okay for a year in the midterm, I guess. But the two areas the Bears need to address. For once in my lifetime, the offense is actually in decent shape. We actually have a franchise quarterback for the first time since 1949. And it's when Sid Luckman retired, the only Bears quarterback to be in the Hall of Fame. And
we don't even have a quarterback in the Hall of Fame.
you should though.
Who?
Ken Anderson.
Yeah, one.
Montez Sweat is an excellent pass rusher. He needs a partner. So that's why I'm holding out hope that Crosby somehow ends up with the Bears. I don't know what that trade entails. We have to sell the farm for him, and I don't really have a farm. And our defensive line, specifically our inside defensive tackles, I love Grady Jarrett and Billings.
But always bring Calais Campbell back.
All that is he even in the league? All they do is take up. They're going to stay. They're not going to give up any ground. They're not going to gain any either. So interior pressure on the pass is not a thing. So
we tried to address that. We signed the guy from Minnesota that was with Washington, Jonathan
Allen. Yeah.
He's 31.
Yeah, something like that. So they need to get another pass rusher. We need to address the interior line. We had a bunch of corners come out of nowhere. And
hold on, we got a question. Matthew Elvis Presley's son Mason said, "What's up?" and asked our thoughts on the Eagles.
I think your head coach is a doofus. We'll start with that. I'm embarrassed for Eagles fans every time I watch that man on the sidelines. He is such a clown. I think the Eagles are loaded with talent.
I think they're a playoff team, and I think they will end up divisional round. See ya.
I think they caught lightning in a bottle when they won the Super Bowl with their new coach. I think his
what helps is Saquon Barkley just run them wild.
But they had him last year too, and they didn't get
every player gets a year older. You lose a little bit.
Sure. And I thought they caught lightning in a bottle with the young coach and his enthusiasm and everything else. And I think now it's gotten to the point where he's just a clown.
I think their weakness on offense
is their coach.
No, it's their quarterback
and the coach.
Well, yeah.
But like I watched that man. I don't know. I think Hurts is still a franchise quarterback. Again, like you said, he's lost. He's probably getting to that stage where he's losing a step. We'll see. I mean, you have to be able to adjust, right? I watched their coach on the sidelines just throw temper tantrums at the dumbest shit ever.
At the fans. What we doing?
Fans. And I just look at him like any other era. That man is not leaving the field with a job. And I have to sit here on my TV and watch it every week because the Eagles are going to be in every primetime game ever because they're the reigning Super Bowl champions. Like, I mean, there's a lot of coaches, not just him. He's just the worst. Mike McDaniel's up there wearing sweatpants.
Well, he's not a head coach anymore. He did get fired.
I know, but head coaches are in the NFL right now are just it seems like they're a dime a dozen, but it seems like there's only 5 or 6 ones that are really worth their money they're getting paid. And I would, yes,
in the NFL, like all you need to be is a leader of men.
Exactly.
Like you don't have to even know X's and O's if you have 2 good coordinators.
Exactly.
The Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Look what happened last year.
See, Dan Campbell's the opposite of Nick Sirianni. The complete opposite.
But he's still like, you still got to have the coordinators.
Exactly. Like we took his offensive coordinator. He's our head coach now, Ben Johnson. And the Lions were still decent to good last year. They were racked with injuries. They were coming off a season where they were racked with injuries. But again, the Eagles are loaded on both sides of the ball. And to me, the fact that they're loaded on both sides of the ball and they laid an egg against the 49ers in the playoffs, and they looked like they just wanted to go home at the end of that game. They just gave up. Is not a question of talent. It is a reflection of the coach who, while all this was going on, was throwing a bitch fit about God knows what on every other play on the sideline. So, yeah, it's cool. He swears and he's not afraid to get in people's face. But here's the legitimacy of it. He's a head coach, like Timmy just said, doesn't know the X's and O's. But he's got good coordinators, so he's gotten away with it. And he's not a leader of men. He's an emotional clown.
See, like you look at Miami and McDaniels, and he knew the X's and O's. That's why he was so great in San Francisco. But he's not a leader of men, which is why everyone shits on him on the way out the door.
Correct.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen in Detroit. I really wish that Chicago would have capped up the money to get either Joe Brady or who's the guy from Tennessee? Was in Buffalo. Was the Giants head coach?
Oh, Dayball?
Dayball. I think that they need that for Caleb Williams. Someone has got to coach recklessness out of him.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. He's going to die one of these days if he keeps doing what he's doing. But again, like it's a dichotomy. It's a situation you're stuck in because there's, again, 2 years ago, his rookie year, I watched him play Minnesota, and he jumped to throw the ball and got hit in the air, and I thought he was dead. But then I watched the playoffs this year, and he runs out of the pocket, jumps as he's throwing, and throws a lawn dart to Cole Kmet in the end zone and keeps the playoff hopes alive against the Rams. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just tell him to just uncork that if the season's about to end.
Darren Staley, Dungy is not coaching ever again. Dungy is like almost 80.
Yeah, there's no chance. There's no chance. And listen.
All right, so let's talk about the Bengals.
Well, hold on. Tony Dungy, just for the sake of this, so we don't get asked this again, Tony Dungy is one of the legendary head coaches of all time. His style does not work today. The Tampa 2 does not work today. Not as a main defensive scheme. As an once in a while plug-in, sure. But if that's your mandatory scheme as a Tampa 2, you're going to get torched.
And by the way, he's a defensive coach.
Exactly.
When he was part of a team that the defense was their identity, he didn't do shit. When he was when he was the head coach of a team that the offense was their identity, he won a Super Bowl.
Tampa versus Indy. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Bengals, when it came in hot Monday, got a defensive end, a pass rusher, Mafe, and a safety. Hometown. I loved this signing. Cincinnati kid, went to school or high school at Mount Healthy, went to UC, drafted by Seattle, went out there, played a contract. They brought him back as a safety. Cook. He is love that story. Everything they've done for defense. They signed Jonathan Allen, like we talked about. I think he's going to go in a rotation to kind of keep him fresh because we also have another defensive tackle that's 31. So I think last year Allen played 800 snaps and our guy played 700. So I think we're going to try to whittle them down to about 400 to 500 apiece, which keeps them fresh, make them a little better. But honestly, we just need to not be bottom half of the league because our offense is going to be good.
I mean, that's the recipe right now for successful NFL teams is great offense. Get me in the top 15 in defense.
Yeah, just keep me top half of the league. Cincinnati,
I don't watch a lot of Bengals games. I could living here, but I just don't because I'm too busy watching the Bears. But we did have a case where the Bears played the Bengals this year.
Yeah, you beat us 47-42.
It was such a stupid game. And we couldn't stop the Bengals offense.
And that was Joe Flacco.
Yeah, it was Joe Flacco. But here's the weird thing. For the first time in my life, you stopped us less.
Yeah.
Which is just weird. That never happens to the Bears.
The biggest addition to our defense this season was Geno Stone getting signed by the Bills.
Yeah. And, the Bears win that game because you just didn't tackle Loveland.
Yeah, we didn't tackle anybody ever.
I don't know, Timmy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this year Zach Taylor's on the hot seat.
Oh, he was on the hot seat last year. I don't know that he should have been fired. But
I was surprised
somebody
he
should have
wasn't.
been fired.
I was surprised he
Because
wasn't.
they were just like, hey, we'll just run it back with his defense. It was terrible the year before. But cool. But here's the thing. Geno Stone missed 26 tackles last year.
That was just against the Bears.
The guy that we signed in his 4-year career has missed 3 less tackles.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that would have won us 3 more games.
Oh, you would have beat the Bears by 3 touchdowns.
No, I mean, it took a lot for us to come back, but yeah, our defense was terrible and we've done a lot. No, Geno Stone is terrible.
I wouldn't even be surprised if the Bengals start 3-5 if Taylor's gone.
I think it's going to be highly unlikely we start 3-5.
Well, I'm just saying
I expect this season. I feel like they've made the right moves.
Well, I'm just saying if you do, because that's possible. As a Bears fan, I always expect we're going to start 3-5. I have to think Taylor's gone, but it's
not
one of
with
those.
Our ownership.
Well, the Bears used to be like what's his face that we had before Ben Johnson, Silver Fox is defensive coordinator for the Cowboys now. He was the first head coach to be fired during the season ever in the history of the Bears. So
they will not fire him in the middle of the season.
There's a first time for everything.
There is. If we came out 0-5, maybe 3-5.
But I do think this is like what do you think Zach Taylor has to achieve for him to make it through the season?
Here's the thing.
Winning record, AFC North, like what do you think?
The problem is not Zach Taylor.
But he's going to get blamed for it. That's just how it works.
He will. Like, he's the one who calls the offensive plays. Offense ain't been the problem.
Right.
And, I mean, I think Al Golden's good enough. Our D coordinator before was great. You cannot make a, gourmet dinner with bologna and Kraft singles.
No, I know of one thing I can make up with that.
Yeah. You have to have players to have anything, and they just on the defensive side have not had players. And I think they've got a few now. I really, really, really hope that either Caleb Downs or Ruben Bain falls to us in the draft. Don't care which one, either one.
So I would argue the biggest free agency move right now, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this because who gives a shit, is Travis Kelce going back to the Chiefs. Again, no one cares. But let's go this route. What do you think of the chance the Seahawks? Are you passing out? What is happening?
No, Sarah and Jonathan are outside the window.
Are you having a stroke on air? I hear sound. I hear colors. So, what do you think are the odds of the Seahawks, especially now that Kenneth Walker went to the Chiefs, ironically, of repeating?
0.
I don't think it's great. Yeah, I don't think it's great.
0.
What about Kansas City? Is this the year the Chiefs fall off the cliff?
We don't know when. Well, I think last year was the year they fell off the cliff. But even if Mahomes comes back, they're at best. All right, so assuming he starts week 1, maybe 10-6, 10-7. They're not a great team.
And with the Chargers,
their defense is older and slower.
Yeah, and with the Chargers in that division, that is not going to win you the AFC West. The Chargers will win that division.
I'd worry more about the Broncos, actually.
And the Broncos. And that's another thing, too, is that division, even the Raiders,
just so you know, the Raiders got a lot better.
Yeah.
And Max Crosby coming back to them made them better.
Well, even just having a quarterback, they didn't sign out of the Arena Football League.
Leave Geno Stone alone.
Geno Smith.
Or not Geno Stone.
By the way, he
Geno
went back
Smith.
to the Jets. Did you see
they're
he
on
went
the
back
same
to the
level.
Jets? When I saw Geno Smith went back to the Jets, I said, I hope Bart Scott comes out of retirement just to break his jaw again.
Right.
Not because I don't like Geno Smith. I just think it would be funny.
I like the moves the Raiders have made. I think they're going to be a better team. Don't know if they're in the playoffs yet because it's going to be a rookie quarterback.
They have a very
crowded team around him is going to be very good.
They have a very crowded division, and that's not going to stop anytime soon.
Well, I don't know that Kansas City's crowding them so much.
No, I think Kansas City is going to be the new last in the next couple seasons, if not this year. But with Denver and the Chargers, all three of those teams are young. That they're not going away.
Darren Staley explained how to make dinner. I said gourmet.
So hold on, let's break this down. If you fry up the bologna, lay the cheese on it while it fries. So right now we got a grilled cheese sandwich on your bread.
It's not on bread yet.
He said on your bread while it fries. I got it.
Mayo one side, mustard the other.
Second, this is step 2. On your bread, mayo on the side. What? Hold on. What? Oh, whoa. Why is the mayo not going on the bread? Why is it on the side? Why am I
he's putting on one side of the bread mayo, on the other mustard.
Wait. You're double coating the bread?
Well, there are 2 pieces of bread. One gets mayo.
On the other piece of bread. Okay, on the other piece of bread. Tomato optional. Nobody eats tomatoes. This is a fried bologna sandwich.
Yes, I don't know where you're from. Well, all right, Darren, that may be gourmet wherever you're at.
I've had my fair share of fried bologna sandwiches. Trust me. But that's like gourmet is not the word I'd use.
Gourmet is not the word I would use for it.
You can buy all the 33 nutrient stone ground oat bread you want. It ain't gourmet.
All right, TJ, take us home. We're almost an hour and 10 minutes here.
So that has been the NFL free agency version of Drunken Pop. We'll be back next week with our regular version when Dave's back on vacation.
Maybe.
Timmy,
if he comes back, he might not come back.
He might. I mean, every time he leaves, we're thinking like we're done.
Yeah.
Timmy, you want to tell everyone what we're covering next week?
March 1987.
March of 87. That's what won the poll. And I can already tell you right now, your boy right here, we're covering WrestleMania 3. That's happening.
I'm not sure what I'm covering yet.
Well, that's because
sure it's Tammy Faye Baker and Jim Baker and something.
Jim Baker was that. Yes, that is also. But unlike your boy here, the other two forgot that we do this show every week. So they did. I
remembered. I just knew Dave wasn't going to be here.
I live outside Waldo, Ohio.
Waldo, Ohio.
I don't need to read the rest of it. And it has the GNR Tavern, which is home of their world famous is strong bologna sandwich. It's been on Man versus Food. I don't know if I would have bragged about any of those things. Anyway, so we will see you next week here on Drunken Pop. Make sure to go to Markout Moments on YouTube for Bashing the Buttons, this show, Talking Wrestling with Pond Water and Amy, TNA Top 10, Era's Golden Age, all those things were coming right here on YouTube, Markout Moments. Until next time, he's Timmy C. I'm TJ Stephens. We'll see you next week here on Drunken Pop.
Good night.
Talking wrestling, time to go. Thanks for watching our epic show. See you next week, same time, same place. Mark Out Moments is your happy